I'm sorry,
So
I
you
can't.
take them to your group.
Okay.
They're all there. For
Oh,
you
2
guys.
cards each, right?
2 cards
Okay.
each, just like yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Shooting some Easton X10s. It's missing 4 arrows, 3 pink fletches, 1 Dayglow green. I have your arrows.
Break them now.
All right, here we are. We're back at Endless Archery in Nampa, Idaho, and we are getting ready to kick off the events for the final day at the 3D Open Buckle Shoot, getting ready for the national anthem, so stand by for that.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous skies o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Oh, I can't believe I forgot. All right.
That was beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you to that.
Alrighty.
It's always a
So-
good way to start the day.
Getting ready to start the shoot for the day. There's going to be 30 targets, 1 arrow per target.
Will be practice only.
So,
Also, right behind the shooting line is a safety line. When you're done shooting, please step back behind the safety line so that our line marshals can see and make sure that everything's clear and everyone's safe.
so they've got it set up pretty nice here. They have 2 line marshals that make sure the range is safe. So when someone's walking down range, they have the ability to see and be the last one back up range so that the shooters can get ready to shoot the next end.
If you
So
have an arrow that hits a money dot, it must be
Right now, we're just
verified by
going
the
over
range
some
master.
of the logistics with the announcer here.
You will be shooting
So we're
2
going to
arrows per target.
just cut our feed
On
for
your
just a
green
few
numbers.
minutes while they do that announcement.
Chicks and peewees, 1 arrow per target on the green numbers.
70%
Please
payout
be
today.
courteous to our range masters and the announcer because he's testy.
The payouts are going to be for first, second, and third in the qualified divisions. And what we mean by that is there may be some divisions that don't have enough participants because there are categories and divisions, chicks, peewees, youth, cubs, women. There's a lot of divisions, and there may not be enough to make 3 spots, but where there are, they'll pay out appropriately.
All right, I see Eric's dancing. I guess we gotta get
So they're getting ready to shoot. We'll turn the cameras around and start catching different targets that are getting shot.
Ready on the left.
And it looks like here we go.
First end is practice. Let him rip.
All right, so for those of you who are just joining us today for day 1, what you'll notice is there's going to be various targets that people are shooting at. They'll be in groups of 2 all the way up to 5 individuals on a target. They don't shoot at one time, but they rotate through that target. When all 5 shooters have shot, then they will step off the line, just as did with that young man, and the next shooter will get up. When all 5 shooters have shot, then they will step behind the line and they will go clear and go down and pull and score their arrows.
There's shots anywhere from around 3 yards out to 55. So we think you'll get a kick out of seeing that. Some of the close shots you think would be easy are actually some of the hardest. The spots that they're aiming at are really small, but the other part about that is when you get under a certain distance for different speeds of bows, what happens is the numbers have to start running in reverse. For instance, most people that shoot a 3-yard shot with a compound bow with sights, they're going to have to set their sight at somewhere between 30 and 50 yards to hit that shot. So there's not a 3-yard setting on your sight. You have to choose another pin because the arrow is still climbing at that point.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is something that people for sure, it can play with your mind when you come up to those shorter distances. Because
For sure. If you've
you're
not
always
sighted in,
thinking you need
yeah.
to move your sight up,
Right.
and it can have a detrimental effect on your score if you do that.
Right. Well, and you've seen that at Reading too. So they added a 3-yard target about 3 years ago, and when they added that target, a lot of pros missed that shot because the spot was about the size of a pencil eraser. And if they didn't have a mark for that, it was a total guess. So at 3 yards, I think I'm somewhere around 56, 57 yards is what my setting has to be to hit that spot. And there's not a lot of room to miss. So the pencil dot is about the size of your arrow shaft in most cases. So this is their only practice end that they have after the official start of the competition. So this particular shot, these shots won't count for their score. After this, they'll shoot 30 targets, 1 arrow each, except for some of the chicks and cubs. I thought I heard him announce that they've got half the targets out there, but they'll shoot 2 arrows each so they get the same possible score.
Gotcha. Okay, so they do get the same scoring amount. They just shoot 2 arrows at
Yeah.
each target. Excellent.
And if you tuned in yesterday, we're working out the bugs for the video quality. What we noticed when we got home and we couldn't check was the internet speeds weren't as fast as we had hoped they would be, so the quality of the video glitched a little bit more. We apologize for that. Mm-hmm. We've changed the quality and adjusted as much as we can for today, so hopefully we don't have that issue today and that the stream rate seems good. So if you experienced any problems yesterday, we apologize. That's on the internet's fault, but we think we've made adjustments to the software that we use so that it'll clear that up.
Absolutely. So if you are watching, we'd love to hear from you in the chat box. If you are looking for someone specific and would like to either see them shoot or get an interview with them, please let us know. And they are going down and pulling arrows. Again, the next target that they shoot will be for score. So what we'll work on today is having specific angles of the shooters and then the specific target that they are shooting at, so that you can see where they're shooting from and then the target that they are shooting at, so you can see both perspectives. Here looks like we are zooming in on one of the dinosaurs. May have changed, so looks like it's gonna possibly be the poisonous tree frog. So the poisonous tree frogs here. So for the adults, this is their target 21. For the youth, this is their 11th target. So because there are so many shooters, everyone can't start at target 1 and move on. So some individuals may be starting at target 21 and then move to target 22 and so forth. So we will see if we can't get an angle of the shooters that are going to be shooting on target 21. And there you can see on the floor, they have the shooting line numbers. So now, Joe, I see on the floor that it says target 21. Is the whiteboard also say target 21?
It will, and that one is a youth target as well. So that one has 2 targets there. So that's the poisonous tree frogs that we showed yesterday. So the orange number is the adults, and the yellow number in 11 is the youth. And so she's a young adult, so she's going to shoot the orange along with the adults, I believe. And I'm not sure. Oh, she let down, that's all.
She did let down. And, let's get a perspective as to why she would choose to shoot from her knees here.
Just personal preference for her. There's not many people that were kneeling down, but it paid off because she just shot it. It's a solid 10, maybe just out of the 11 ring. And that 11 ring's about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, that's it. And it's not a far shot. It's about probably about a 13-yard shot, a 12-yard shot, something like that. But if a youth was shooting in that spot, the youth would shoot at the green frog, that's target 11. Now, this is her dad that is shooting with her. He's going to shoot at the same target she did. He can't choose to shoot at the other one because he's got to shoot at all the orange numbers. And he looks like he's just above the 11 ring too. So it's 2 solid shots for 10s. Maybe an 11, but I think both of those are 10s. And
so let me ask you this, Joe. Would it be possible, we saw Haley kneel down there with the short distance, could the angle be a concern for her and she's just trying to shoot more level, or is that just maybe in my head?
Yeah, no, something in her mind said the same thing. So something said that she didn't want to have to aim down on the target as much, and that's just what she chose to do. So, and there's no rule that says you have to be standing. You obviously have to be stable and unsupported on your own, and that's what she chose to do. So you won't see a ton of people kneeling unless there's something with their height that causes them to have to shoot under a branch or over something. They would want to kneel down or stand up or step a little bit to the left, as long as they stay in between the lines that they're shooting. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can choose. You can't gain distance on a target, meaning you can't step forward of the line for safety reasons and for just the way the competition's done. But you can move parallel.
side to side.
Yeah, you can move parallel to the spot as long as you stay in your designated lane. And those lanes, I think, are around 30 inches wide, is how they got them set up. So that gives them plenty of room to step right or left and find what they want to shoot at to get the clearest angle. Matter of fact, on a short target like this, it wouldn't be uncommon if people were stacking them in the middle like they are. If you had one or two more shooters on this, that somebody would step to the right or left, stay in the box, and then try to
Shoot
sneak
from
an
a
arrow
little
in,
different angle.
because sometimes the fleshes are hiding the spot and they don't want to hit the back of an arrow and kick out. And that's what you see in outdoor competitions and indoor 3Ds where multiple people are sharing the same target.
Gotcha. So it looks like now we are just waiting. Those shooters are done on their target, and we are waiting for shooters on other targets. But let's look back at those poisonous tree frogs. And
There was one youth,
There
or
was.
one cub or chick,
Yes.
as they're called in their divisions.
so good shooting. No 11s in this group, but 3 solid 10s and an 8 there.
Yeah. So the brighter part of the target that you see there, if you're not familiar with it, that's what we call the insert. So it's removable. So that spot gets shot at the most, the middle of the target gets shot at the most where the scoring rings are. And instead of replacing a $200 target, they can just buy a new core and replace maybe a $50 or $60 core. And on the bigger targets, they cost a little bit more, but the target could be $1,300 for like the wildebeest or the Velociraptor downrange that you'll see later today. So when you start pushing the targets, that's what you'll get is the cost goes up on those bigger targets that people like to look at.
Excellent. So this was their first scoring end. So as they go down and score, we will do some repositioning. So this is day 2 of the Endless Archery 3D open buckle shoot. And Endless Archery is located in Nampa, Idaho.
Carl or Randy?
They've done a great job setting up the range, good foliage and various
You need a dot put back
targets
on
kind of
target
hidden
6.
behind trees or
And I need a line judge
bushes.
on
It's just
7.
a cool little setting here. So if you have not had an opportunity to shoot an indoor 3D, I would put that on your bucket list to try to do at some point. If you are in need of, maybe trying to find out other shoots that you could go to or what's happening in your area, we do have a I apologize. We do have this website here called Living Her Dreams. This is a mom here of one of the shooters at Endless Archery. And in her time while her daughter is shooting, she's decided to put together a Google Calendar with events that are happening internationally. So you can subscribe to her Google Calendar, and you can click on every day of the year and find an event that you may be able to participate in. So like I said, if you're looking for more indoor shoots or want to know, kind of plan out your year, this may be a great place to start. So check out her website, livingherdreams.com. All right, so it looks like we've got set up at one of the dinosaurs here on the range. So this is target 18. This is one of the longer shots, it looks like.
Yeah, it's probably, I didn't look, but I think it's around 46 yards, something like that. Could be in the high 30s. but I'll try to do better at seeing the distance on that target
Clear on the right,
distance
clear on the left.
as we talk about it.
Shoot 'em.
All right, so we are looking at target 18. The shooter is going to be the young lady in the Endless Archery jersey.
She's one of the coaches here.
Excellent. So she's just getting an eye on where to aim or the dot is. So she's at full draw. Looks
right.
like
Maybe
just out of the 10 line.
Yeah, just out of the 10 line. Still in the insert, so she'll score an 8 with that shot. You can barely or vaguely see the 10 line there. It's probably about an inch, maybe a half of an inch above her arrow is the bottom of it. And then this is one of the youth program directors.
Yeah,
here.
she's Endless Archery's pro staff coordinator. I did get to speak with her yesterday, and she works at communicating and putting all communication out with all the shop employees or their shooting staff to keep everybody on the same page and to recruit people for work parties or anything like that. Oh, so
I think she caught a 10 at about 8 o'clock.
I think so. You can just barely see either that red knock or it might be.
Yeah, I think a red knock with blue fletches. So she's shooting. So that's both of them on that target. And today, just to mention it again, the total ag for both days will be what's in play. So they're going to continue to add to their score from yesterday. They shot 30 targets for score yesterday with a possible of 330 points because every 11 is in play. Today will be the same thing, another 30 targets with a 330. So the best score would be a 660. That would be near impossible for anybody to hit because some of these dots or the 11 rings are very, very small. So you could pull a ton of pros up here and go from there. So what you'll see or hear, sometimes people will talk about it as a above par. So par would be if you hit every 10 that's available, you shot par. So that means you shot a 300.
Gotcha.
And then for every 11 you hit, you would get a +1. So you want to be above par on this. So if you say I'm a +3, that means you've hit every 10 and you're at least +3. Or you could have hit an 8 and shot a few more 11s, but you're still +3 for the amount of targets that you've shot so far.
Gotcha. So your overall score would then be 303 or
right. Or you
something.
could be down the same. So if you say
Gotcha.
I'm down 5 points, that means somewhere along the line you've missed the 10s and you're a little below average as if you instead of shooting 10s. So a little bit easier to keep track of the score that way, even though they have paper targets or paper scorecards to write things down on. Just in their mind, it's easier to keep track of.
Absolutely. All right, so as we look down the range, it looks as though we've got just a few additional shooters on the line. And at that point, we will, again, go clear. And they'll go score their targets. So looking back, this
Clear on the right, clear on the left,
target.
score 'em.
right, so again, we are here at Endless Archery in Nampa, Idaho. Endless Archery is a archery pro shop as well as a 60-yard indoor shooting range. They do have about 54 lanes at 60 yards, which is just awesome. Carl is the owner of Endless Archery, and he spoke with us a little bit yesterday. They are open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That is just impressive as far as hours go. So if you are in the Nampa area, feel free to come down and give Endless Archery a shot. They do have bow rentals. If you have your own equipment, you can just rent a spot on the range. They have 3D targets out every day, all day. So the whole range is not set up with 3D targets. They do have target bales that are set up in 10-yard increments, typically from 10 yards down to 60 yards. So,
Yeah. And yeah, the whole left side of the range is usually the target butts, meaning that it's for paper targets at 20, 30, 40, 50 yards. And you can choose what distance you want to shoot at. And the right side usually has, I think, 12 or 15 3D targets set up on it continuously too. So when you come in and pay to shoot, you can shoot whatever you want. So if you want to start sighting in for 3Ds, you can shoot out to 50, 60 yards. Doing that too, or if you just want to get ready for like field rounds, you can put up field targets and shoot on the target butts as well. For this competition, they pushed all the butts off to the side so that they can. You'll see them on the right side or on the left side of your screen right now, pushed up against the side of the wall to get them out of the way for this 3D competition they're doing. So it looks like the next target we have is going to be that is a baboon facing away, and he's been playing with a spare tire swing or something. So you got to shoot under that or through that tire, and there's a lot of room down below, but there's not a lot of room up top. So this might be a spot where you might see a couple of people kneeling if they can't get a clear view of it. So a really tall archer might have to kneel down so that he won't hit the top of that tire.
all right, so those shooting this is going to be John here, looks like.
Yep.
So he's going to full draw right now. And looks like he hit low in the leg. Is that...
No, I think that's an arrow that was already there. Maybe he did. I don't recall. I thought that arrow was already there, and it may be stuck in something there. Maybe that's his, though. I thought I saw it before.
Okay. So the next gentleman.
We'll see.
Yeah, so they are
all shooting low.
So either the distance might be wrong on the card or
right. So that's a possibility, but they can use a rangefinder too. So you know, if it's marked wrong, it would not be intentional, but that would have to be marked more than 5 yards wrong, and that would be noticeable as low as they're shooting.
Highly unlikely.
It's high. There's a high probability they're favoring low, so that they don't hit that tire because you probably can't get your arrow out of that rubber. So very common that if there's an obstruction in the way, you don't want to hit it, so you favor away from it, and you don't think you're favoring away as much as you are, but
gotcha.
Maybe that's coming into play here. So if I was a really tall person shooting that target, I would be, probably kneeling down to shoot so I could aim straight at it.
Let's see what Beth does here.
Yeah. So Beth is a great shooter. I didn't see her arrow, but it could have disappeared, and she could have went through that tire and hit high. Maybe she was standing on another target. So it could have just been the two of them on that target. I thought they were all shooting together yesterday, though. This is John's wife.
John's wife, Alicia. See the Christmas tree lighting up in the
She
background.
shot also, so there's a possibility they were able to shoot around it, and we just can't see the back of their arrow because they were all shooting together. So, well, it's a mystery, I guess. So,
I guess we will see when we see.
yep, I'll go down and talk to them and see, where their arrows are. If they're in the foam and you just can't see it in the back of the baboon there. So, we'll see what's what after we go down range this time.
All right. So there she is. And there I was.
There she is again.
And there I was. And I just couldn't figure out what to do. So it is always, just like in any sport, golf, whatever the case, there's always the play-by-play after, right?
Right.
And people want to relive that moment and, explain either,
Right.
what they were thinking when they shot such an amazing shot. And for me, most of the time is what I was thinking when I totally choked.
And everybody is dramatic in their own way. So we're going to go down and talk to them and see how they do.
So
All right. So we're going to go see what they were actually shooting at. We thought we were catching all four of them shooting at that baboon, but we didn't catch Alicia's or Beth's shot on that. So we're going to see what they were shooting at and if we just missed what was going on. Oh, I think they were shooting. Okay, I see what it is. So we were filming you guys shooting this baboon, and you had to shoot through the tire there. So you try to make sure that you're not going to hit the top of the tire. So you favor a little bit low, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
you have to.
yeah.
Or you're going to clip your tire right down here.
Yeah, exactly. So good shooting. You catching foam is always a good thing. You have to
Yes,
score on paper.
Absolutely. Yes, it is, most definitely.
And who are you guys and where are you from?
I'm Bonnie Ford, and this is Leslie Doty, and we're from Marsing, Idaho.
From Marsing? Awesome. Well, thanks for coming to the shoot. We appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, so what we were doing was we were thinking that John and Beth and Alicia, that group, we thought they were shooting the baboon, but it was the group next to them. So we caught up. They're both, those ladies are both from Marsing, so that's cool. And Marsing from here is about, probably about 25 or 30 minutes, about 25 miles from here, just on the other side of the Snake River, south from here. All right, now we're going to set up for the Crocodile. So the Crocodile is at 30.2 yards. So we'll watch this next group shoot and we'll catch John and them in a little bit.
Clear on the right, clear on the left.
So this is a crocodile now. It's a Nile crocodile. This is a massive target. Reinhardt makes an alligator that we didn't catch on film yesterday, but it is out here, so we'll do that. But this crocodile is prospectively bigger than it, so it's probably, I want to say it's probably 10 or 12 feet long, put together, and it weighs in real life here, this foam target weighs about 150 pounds, maybe 200 pounds, so it's about 3 feet wide when you go up and look at it over the top of it, but it's not tall. So it's a mean, ugly looking target.
So she is at full draw.
White hat. And oh, there it is, just a touch low. Now this is a hard target to shoot. We talked about it yesterday. The way they paint this particular target is made in Africa. There's a 3D company in Africa that shows up to Reading every year. He travels around with his trailer of targets that he's a distributor for the U.S. for this. We pick up some for our shops every year. They get some here, and of course they get those big ones because they have such a massive range here at Endless Archery. They get those bigger targets. They're not cheap, but they're awesome, awesome targets. So they're hand painted, they're realistic, and what they really advertise is not only the realism, but the kill shots are located in the appropriate spot, so they're anatomically correct for the kill shots. So on 3D targets, generally the kill shots aren't in the right spot. It's just a spot where there's a lot of foam around it, so that you can score and then replace a core in it. And what they focused on here is getting the kill shots, because people that go over and hunt some of these animals in Africa, they want them to practice with as much realism as they can. And just in general, if you're not a hunter, it's a fun to try to shoot good scores.
That makes sense. All right.
I'm gonna go ask. I think I'm gonna go ask Alicia what she's talking about, because on that last target.
Maybe we can get the play-by-play.
Yeah.
She is very animated and fun to watch, and fun to talk to. So we'll get the inside skinny here on what happened on this last target. There's the Hammond.
All right, Alicia.
Outside the line.
I think the internet wants to know what you were thinking on that last target when you were doing this.
I was?
Yeah.
Was I moving my head around?
Oh yeah, you were like, I don't know what I was doing, and then I was doing this. So you were replaying the shot in your mind.
Oh, I don't know what I do when I am up there. Maybe I was getting my neck. Was it doing it before I shot?
No, it was after.
Oh, maybe I was thinking, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was maybe what it was.
That's what we all do. We're like, there I was.
Oh, and then I'm all nice and stiff, and then I look and I go, oh, okay, all right. Because I think too, sometimes I second guess myself after I shot, going, what happened? Oh no, I'm okay. So,
Well,
yeah.
it's funny. It just happened to be catching you, so
Oh, yeah, all
we
funny.
wanted to poke at you a little bit. So
I'm like, what did I do? Don't catch me doing something funny. I'm like, well, I don't know.
oh, don't go too far. We filmed you shooting that crocodile. Yeah. Oh, it's today though. So we just watched you guys shoot that crocodile.
Horribly, yeah.
No, it wasn't terrible. I mean, that's a hard target to shoot.
It's a really hard
the
target.
kills are anatomically correct, so they're where they're supposed to be if you're really going to be shooting at it, and you cannot see them. Even if you're 5 feet away, that's a hard target to see. I think it's honestly one of the hardest targets because there's no shadows where,
is.
to help you out. So
Yeah.
let's go see how it was.
Yeah. And I don't want to use my mulligans this early.
Right.
Yeah, you took a 5.
All right, so they're headed down range to score. We'll check in to see how they thought they did here.
So that is a very hard target to see. You know, from 5 feet away, you can't see that. And that 10 ring is maybe 4 inches max. And it's laying over, so it's not straight up and down. So you're only shooting at about half of it. So you only got a 2-inch window there. So looks like one of you caught a 10 and one of them is just under the insert there. It's not got an insert, but this is a 200-pound target. I mean, it's a big one.
I've seen it.
Oh yeah, so they're pretty cool. It's a company out of Africa that there's a distributor that Carl picks them up from Reading every year. We pick up a couple for our shops as well, but they are some of the best looking targets in the industry.
Great.
Huge.
All right, so tell me again, in case somebody wasn't listening, where you guys from and who are you?
Dan and Deanna Pittman, and we're out of Boise. With dead-ons where we shoot mostly.
But we
Awesome.
come here too.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Good luck.
All right, good shooting, Pittmans. So oftentimes after you're coming down range, after you've scored, you'll see shooters go to their next target. That way they can kind of zoom in a little bit, get an idea on where the kill zone is on that shot, where they should be aiming in order to get the highest score possible. When you're up close, you can often see those scoring rings, but as soon as you get 5 yards back, in a lot of animals, those scoring rings just disappear. All right, so we've got set up at...
I don't know what type of sheep
that
it is.
a ram?
Yeah, we'll call it a ram. It's got a specific name, but we'll call it a ram for now.
All right, target 13. Lucky target 13. So, looks like gentleman in the orange shirt will be shooting that target. So getting situated, getting his stance right, coming to full draw.
And I believe this target is 42 yards. Yeah, this is 42 yard shot.
That's a solid 10.
That is.
Just outside, 10:30, 11 o'clock. Is that guy wearing the crispy Monacos? You can't see it now, but
Yeah, I think he is. Yep. I just peeked
Elite.
around the monitor and he is.
I'll go check out my shooting or my oh, nice shot. That looks like it could be a solid 11. So he's checking out his result there. Looks like he's pretty happy with what happened. And it looks like it's just the 2 on the target. All right, and on the left there you got Cody. one of the young adults shooting, or youth. Let down. Something didn't feel right in the shot. So oftentimes people will let down if they can't. Sometimes you draw back and you start aiming, and then all of a sudden you lose focus of what you're aiming at, especially if it's just a white blob out there. And so people may let down so that they can refocus on their aiming reference. Sometimes they let down because they've just been holding the shot too long, and maybe they didn't feel like they could execute a good shot, started to get a little more wobbly than they're comfortable with. So that is a skill that not everybody has. There are a number of archers that struggle with letting down if something with the shot does not feel well. So again, we're looking out. Looks like just a few more shooters on the line, and we will go clear right and clear left, and then hold. So that again is one of the reasons we ask people to step back. So we'll see that target 13 again, 2 clean shots there. And it looks like we have a friend that's joined us in the booth. Hello,
yes.
Carl.
How are you, Megan?
Doing great. So how's the day starting out?
We started off without any glitches, so we're doing good so far. It's always a good day when things start out smooth.
Good. And you were here quite late last night, putting in scores and you know, doing all the behind-the-scenes stuff that have to be done in a target or in a tournament. Excuse me.
Yep. It's definitely it doesn't end when the last shot happens. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and you end up getting text messages from people when their score is going to be up and all that stuff. So you try to get that stuff up as quickly as possible so people can see where things are at.
Right. Or I turned in my scorecard and I forgot that I had made a mistake, and it's like, ooh, well, that initial you did at the bottom, unfortunately, that kind of seals the deal, right?
Yeah, when you sign that scorecard, if you haven't checked it over the way it should be, it's, done deal at that point.
Well, I can tell you, I've had the opportunity to run behind the scenes on some tournaments, and that is a relentless job.
It really is, and it's time consuming too, especially when you're trying to make sure everything's entered in correctly.
Absolutely.
So, you don't want to rush it.
Absolutely. So, I was following along, and it looks like scores got posted pretty close to 8 or something last night.
Right about 7:30ish, right in that area.
So when people were long gone here. So
yes. Yep.
So just remember, guys, and it's not just inputting of scores that has to get done. We got to reset up targets. You also held a smoker round in between there.
We did.
So there's just a lot going on. So when people, if you haven't had the opportunity to actually run a tournament, you just kind of don't know exactly how difficult and time consuming it can be. So just asking for patience, I think.
Yeah, you got to be flexible too. So you never know if something pops up, how you're going to handle it, and what you got to do to take care of it.
Absolutely. So it looks like we've got a new image there. We've got a lot of sheep.
Yeah, sheep and we got sheep and goats out on the range. This is one of our stone sheep.
Gotcha.
So, it's a good one. It's got a lot of curvature to the insert on it, so you get shadows. You can see the shadows on it, and so that always plays into kind of how you see that target and how you might look at making that shot.
Excellent. We've got a couple of. Looks like we're honing in on the shooters for target 29. which is going to be that sheep there. So, Carl, anything you want to tell the people about the shoot or any upcoming events?
Yeah, so we've actually, with this current shoot, it's, the way that it's set up is you shoot, it's for 2-day shoot for the awards, 30 targets a day. If you're not shooting in the championship class, you do have the option of buying mulligans. So if you have a bad shot and you've paid for your mulligans, you can have 2 mulligans a day.
Excellent.
So, yep. We do have a couple tournaments coming up. We got one in August and we have one in October. We have our Stars and Stripes tournament, which we do in support of our military troops and veterans who have served the country. And so we we give them a discount on getting into the tournament. And then we usually end up giving away some pretty significant prizes. Last year we gave away 2 fully guided hunts.
That's awesome.
So, yep, we're super excited on doing that again and getting people involved. So.
And that shoot is in August?
It's in August, yep.
Okay, so just before hunting season.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to get out and, shoot your gear and make sure you're dialed in where you want to be and before you head out in the hills.
Awesome. So this gentleman's at full draw on the sheep here. There's one of those letdowns again. So I was discussing earlier the reasons as to why someone would let down when they're at full draw. And I said it was quite a skill to have. A lot of people don't have that skill.
It definitely takes a lot of discipline. Yeah, you've got to be disciplined in your shot process to be able to let down.
Let's see. Okay, so just low, it looks like maybe jar liquor there at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it looks like
just
one
outside
at 6,
of the 11.
Yeah, looks like one at 6 and one maybe about 7.
But both 10s, it looks like, right?
Yeah, absolutely solid 10s on those.
So great.
I think at some of the national tournaments too, they've got their requirements that you can only let down so many times as well.
Absolutely. I know that's the case at Reading, because Reading can get some serious backup issues.
They can, yeah.
If you get up there in the canyon, and it's windy and you see your sight going left and right, and your stabilizers coming in one eye and going out the other eye, people can want to let down because nothing feels just right. So I think they have to do that to kind of keep the tournament flowing for one, and two,
Yep. I think they have the 3 letdown rule, and I think a lot of people base their tournaments off of that. So people start letting down. If you let down 3 times and draw back that 4th time, you have to let the arrow go.
Gotcha. So it looks like another arrow maybe snuck in there. Is that the knock of the...
looks like a 3rd arrow.
Okay.
That one may
be in there.
May have caught the line on that one.
Excellent.
That's a great group, too. Great shooting.
Absolutely.
If he hits the money dot and then that dot falls off the board, how do you confirm?
So we do have a question that was just posed. It was, if you hit the money dot, but those are taped on, it's a sticker, what happens if that money dot then falls? So how do you confirm that the money dot was hit? So that'll be a good follow-up question to hear the result to that answer, whether it be, that you see a hole in the money dot when it's...
Yeah, because it's a sticker dot, and they staple it on 4 sides of that sticker to barely hold it onto the target. Sure. And it's a new dot every time that it gets hit, so they replace it. So it should have an arrow hole in it. So if it just nicked the edge, you're still going to see some kind of impact with it.
Some kind of cutout, yeah.
Carl will make the decision on that with the other officials and their committee. their rules committee, so they'll go check that out and make sure. But if it was witnessed, they'll just need to see that it had a mark. Now, they have to make sure that it's probably got an arrow shot in it, because it could hit the foam hard enough to jar it loose, and it could just
Correct.
fall off from the target, and they could have
Absolutely.
thought they hit it. So we'll let them decide that. And I think what we'll do in the meantime is we'll go down, look at this bedded ram here, talk to these guys, and then when we come back up range, maybe they're about to shoot the lion. Also, I want to catch them shooting the lion. Then we'll talk about what equipment they're using and show that up close,
that'd
so
be
we can
great.
go over what, if they're all shooting the same type of equipment, and what rules and division that falls under.
That sounds great. Well, we'll go see how it turned out down here. Get some info on these gentlemen.
So this is the guys that are shooting the bedded ram. We're going to go see how they shot, which from our perspective on looking at it through the monitor, it looked like they slammed that target. So they shot really well. I think we talked to them yesterday as well. They've been shooting great all weekend. So they're, highly competitive. See where they're from. So what we'll do, guys, you guys tore those targets up again. So we're going to catch you guys shooting the lions. And then I want to talk about your equipment. So if you don't mind, tell everybody where you're from.
From CUNA.
Meridian.
In Boise.
In Boise. And so you're shooting bow hunter freestyle, and then you guys are shooting outlaw. So I want to show, after you shoot the lion, while we're waiting to go down range, we'll have you walk over to one of the monitors with one of your bows, and then show the difference between the bow hunter freestyle and then the outlaw, if you don't care, so that people that have never seen that can understand what it's about.
And we're also going to shoot the mosquito.
Okay, yeah, so they're going to... All right, so there's downrange, there is a lion that has a money dot on it, but there's also a mosquito next to it too. That mosquito is usually not made to be shot over 20 yards, but this distance on this is, it's at the max distance it can be, so it is a small dot. So the kill on that mosquito, the 11, is about maybe a ½ inch in diameter, maybe 3/4 of an inch. So it's at 50 yards. So they're going to shoot this target at 50 yards. So after they shoot this, we'll have them come over and show the difference between what we would call the outlaw division versus the bow hunter freestyle. Most people in the Northwest shoot the outlaw division, or a modified bow hunter is what you hear it called from time to time, which has mover sights, and but it still has no lens and usually no electronics either. Yeah. So it's become they've introduced it to a lot of novelty shoots, because all these mountain challenges and tack shoots, the total archery challenge shoots, they are much harder divisions and harder shots to take when you're up on the mountains on ski lifts. So how long you been, what was your name again?
Jonathan.
And how long you been shooting, Jonathan?
A few years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You go to a lot of tournaments?
I try to do all the local ones and go to a couple tacks a year.
And then do you do this in preparation for hunting, or do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all to get better as a hunter.
Right. That's what most of us do. Not everyone hunts, but the people that we see shooting most of the competitions, what brought them into the competition side is just wanting to be a better hunter and learn to deal with the pressure, when you're in the woods, which typically makes a hunt shot not that hard, considering you don't have to worry about score, you just have to worry about good shots.
Yeah, it definitely helps your confidence with it, because if you can shoot something small here at a long distance, if it's 30 yards broadside, it feels like you're, and like putting to a bucket, like if it was a golf analogy,
Exactly. And then since you guys are choosing to shoot this mosquito, that mosquito may be 18 inches wide and maybe probably 10 inches tall. So it's not, as far as the body to hit. So it's not an easy shot from this distance, so we'll see how that pans out in just a second. I'll sneak back over after you guys are done, and we'll get somebody over to talk about your equipment. So
sounds good.
Good luck on the shot.
Thank you.
Nice shot, son.
So, gentleman there at full drop is opting to shoot the little mosquito So
Mr. Paul Frederick. Ooh.
nice. I'm not sure. Can you tell me where the money dot is, or excuse me, not the money dot,
so
but the kill shot?
he's just straight right. So the center 11 ring is almost just straight right in the middle of that V.
In the V, I can barely see that now.
Make out just a slight ring on that 11 ring.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's a solid shot at about 50 yards. So, and as you can see, there is a lion there to the left that has the orange money dot, and they have opted to shoot the mosquito over shooting that the money dot just for the challenge of it, I would say.
I think a lot of times too, like we threw the bonus target out there to try to see if who's going to try to play into some strategy. You know, are they wanting to shoot for a money dot or a prize dot, or are they wanting to go for the 2-day buckle and try to double their points on the smaller target?
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah.
So the smaller
if they
target.
shoot the bonus target, then the 11 actually counts as a 22, the 10 counts as a 20.
Gotcha. So there is some strategy.
You can
there.
see who's
That's
playing
awesome.
strategy to try to either go for the prize dots or if they're wanting to really try to go for those buckles for the 2 days with their 2-day score.
That makes a lot of sense.
So after this last archer shoots, they're going to come over here because 2 of them are shooting the outlaw division and one of them shooting bow hunter freestyle. So we're going to get in front of the camera and show what the difference is between those sights and stabilizers, so that people that aren't familiar with it understand what that is. And then we'll a little bit later we'll show a freestyle or an open division as well.
Oh man, that's could be a 10 there.
Could be a 10 on that one. That one's going to be close.
They're at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, no, those are great shots. I mean, in that target, the insert on that target might only be 5 inches across, and that's at 50 yards.
50 yards. So if the whole insert is 5 inches, then we're talking the 11 is.
Your 11 might be the size of a penny.
That's rad. Okay, and so the insert still is not the 10 ring. The insert. Oh, so that one's just high. That one's probably 10 o'clock high. So the insert again is not all 10 rings.
I'm going to sneak you over to the camera there, and we'll talk about the bow hunter freestyle category.
Still on the 10, or still in the insert. So. All right. It sounds like we're going to get some equipment details.
All right.
Here.
So let me make sure we're in frame here. All right. So again, what was your name?
My name's Tyler Hill, and I'm shooting out of Boise. Main range is here at Endless.
All right, and so you're shooting bow hunter freestyle. So a couple of the rules are you can't have longer than a 12-inch stabilizer.
Yep. So
regardless of how it's connected.
Exactly. Had to take off some rubber pieces on the end just to make it legal.
Right. And then another rule is that you can extend the sight as long as you want, but you have to have fixed pins, and that means you can't move the pins once a competition starts.
Exactly. Yeah. No lens, and then I can't have a slider go up and down to give me like a dialed in yardage. So 47 yards, I can't just dial up to 47 and shoot the pin. I have to figure out, the right distance between 40 and 50 to hold.
So they call that gap shooting. So you've got a 40 and a 50-yard pin, so you're going to hold that to where an imaginary 47-yard pin would be if you had sighted in.
Exactly, yeah. And one of the little tricks is you pull up and you look where your 40 and your 50 are, and then you focus on which one you think you'll have a good holding spot. So like in the bear at 45 yards, I hold my 50 in the armpit, and I focus on a particular spot rather than focusing on that gap, and it'll eliminate some of your left and right misses.
Yep, and well, that's definitely the perfect strategy. And then when you get outside, that changes depending on the distance of the target and stuff too. So, all right, let's go see how you guys shot this.
Yeah, let's go.
So this is for double the points because you shot at the mosquito.
Yep, and we 2 of us elected to use our mulligans because we were for sure 5s, and so we're hoping at least we catch an 8, which would double up to 16 for that 49-yard mosquito.
That explains why.
So they're looking close, so one of them's close here.
Yeah, there's a little inspection going on. It doesn't make me feel good because it's got to be mine.
So in that group, we have 2 of our newest staff shooters.
Oh, no, I did, huh? So there's my mulligan, Tyler. What is it?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Good shot, Paul.
2 of our newest members of our...
I think you're 11. It looks like the top of his shaft is curved right into that outer burn mark. So I would say Paul would be an 11. And,
I went from an 8 to a 5 trying to shoot it again because he shot that 11, so I was going for broke, and
All right.
it bit me.
And so if you choose to shoot a mulligan and you miss, you have to, or you shoot a
You have to
smaller
take your
score.
second arrow.
You
Yeah,
got to
it's
take your
not-
second arrow.
Yeah, it's not best of.
Yep. So if you shot a 10, hoping for an 11, then you shot a miss, you're getting a 0 for that.
Correct.
All right. So sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. And in this case, he stretched the line for the 11, so he got an 11. All it has to do is the outside of the shaft has to touch the line. It doesn't have to cut through into it. It just has to hit that scoring line. So that's good shooting, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tyler, this is your second?
yes.
So tough break on that one for him, right?
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
he had an 8, thought he could maybe get a couple extra points and get a 10.
Yeah, so that 8 would have been 16 points on that bonus target, and then he ended up shooting a second arrow for a 5. So he ended up losing 6 points on that one. So that can be kind of rough.
Tough break, but the other gentleman hit that 11 and
Ended up with 20,
gaining some points.
gaining an extra 11 points.
So that could have been a real swing of
Yes,
events,
a huge,
right?
huge swing in points, that's for sure.
So I imagine those individuals are running pretty head-to-head with their overall scores.
Yes.
So that could have been
It could have been a big swing.
a big swing. So fun to see. So as people come back, you see, people are messing with their sights again. Each time they go to a new target, if they are in the open class or in the outlaw class, they have the ability to move that target site.
Yep.
So, so that's what you see when people are coming and looks like they're tinkering with their equipment. They're actually setting up for their next shooting distance. So, all right.
Some youngsters up there shooting.
All right, so we got target 13 here. That is a green target, so that is specifically for the youngsters, right?
Yep.
So we got this young gentleman. Is this is one of your shooters here? Full draw, and let's see. Pretty solid shot there. Pretty solid.
Yeah, it looks like we may have a 10 and an 8. So yeah, we got one of our youngsters right here that just walked over.
Awesome. Let's see. Can you see him?
Here, I'll switch spots for a second with him.
All right. Let's do a little interview. All right, Tyson, can you hear me, bud?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Are you having fun shooting today?
Yeah.
Okay, Tyson, how long have you been shooting?
Since I was 2.
2 years old? That's crazy. And how old are you now?
7.
7. So you've been shooting more than double your lifespan. No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. In any event, so what's your favorite target to shoot at here?
Probably the moose.
The moose? How come you like that one so much?
Because it's kind of hard.
Because it's a further distance? Is that what makes it hard, or is it because of the way the trees are set up?
The trees are set up.
Oh, okay, awesome. So I asked Brant yesterday, do you prefer shooting 3D animals or do you prefer shooting
paper?
3D animals.
Oh, how come you love the 3D animals?
Because it's a lot more fun than
I agree. 3D animals is a lot more fun than shooting just paper, right? Awesome. Well, I hope that you enjoy the rest of the shoot. Thanks for coming and chatting. Have fun, okay? All right. So let's see how those kids ended up here. So it looks like we've got a couple of 10s, some 5s, maybe an 8 there. That's great.
Yeah, so you'll notice on here too that we have a couple arrows that are the same. Those ones aren't, in this group particularly, these ones aren't mulligans, these are actually cubs. So with the way that our course is set up, the chicks and peewees will shoot a 15 target course, and the chicks and peewees shoot 1 arrow per target for those 15 targets, whereas our cubs shoot the same course as the chicks and peewees, but to get 30 targets in, they shoot 2 arrows per target.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah, in this group, looks like they have 2 cubs in their group shooting. Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. So they still have the same potential final score as the adults or the older youth.
Yep, just at a more restricted distance limit. Yep.
Fantastic. So that's a great way for you, you know, if you're ever thinking about putting on a tournament, that would be a great way to incorporate and, you know, keep it short for the youth, but keep their score comparable to what other people.
Yeah, still give them that full 30 arrows, but keep them in a controlled, you know, so that you got some of these kids in the cub division that might not get over 30 yards on their bow when they're shooting.
Yeah, and that can be really discouraging for a child to shoot, you know, over 30 yards where they don't have the range or, you know, they haven't been able to practice or sight in at that point. Or frankly, I mean, they just might not be pulling enough weight. Yeah. All right, well, let's check in with Joe and see what we got here.
All right. It's a group of, what divisions are you guys in?
I'm cub.
Cub?
Cubs, boys.
Chicks. Chicks.
All right. And you guys shot really good.
No.
Maybe not in your mind? Yeah, well, you hit foam, so that's good. Putting scores down right now. So how old are you?
I'm 12.
13.
7. 8.
And you're not shooting today? No, you didn't shoot yesterday, did you?
I don't do archery.
Oh, you didn't do... Oh, your Brant's sister? Yeah.
Yeah, we interviewed Brant.
All right, well, keep shooting good, guys.
Sounds like his parents brought them in for instruction or a class or a rental, and Brant stuck with it. The sister not necessarily so fond.
Right. She came in and did the beginner classes with us, and then so she's really big into fast pitch softball.
Oh wow!
So sister decided she wanted to stick with softball, and Brant is doing the archery, and they both do very, very well.
Awesome. Fantastic. So, Carl, today will there be a break for lunch?
We will. Yep.
Okay.
We'll go into a break again for lunch, and then we'll start back up again for the second half. And then after that's done, we'll get everything tallied up, and hopefully don't have people waiting too long before we go right into our awards.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's the real pencil pushing time, isn't it?
That's the one
the
where
end of the day on award day.
Yes.
Got people waiting around and.
Yeah, we try to keep everything pretty up to where we just have to just get some things filled in real quick and go through the scores and verify those. As long as you don't get too many people involved in that at the end, then usually you don't have any mistakes.
Yes, I have found that if you can keep the score table away from people where they might be coming over and checking in.
Correct.
Are we almost there? Or what did I score? Or how
Right.
am I? You
Yeah.
know, and it just is. It's funny. Like just real quick. No, just real quick. I have just a question, real quick.
Right. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like they don't realize that every time they say just real quick is actually breaking your train of thought and preventing you from finishing your
Right,
job.
yes.
So no one ever means ill, but
No,
you know.
no. We do like to be as efficient as possible, and you know, we do respect everybody's time and want to make sure that they enjoy the experience.
Ooh, that's a great shot on that. Looks like it's just outside the 11 at 2 o'clock there.
Yep, on that Raptor. Yeah, that's a fantastic shot.
All right. Just going to get a closer look there. Make sure he knows where he should be aiming.
Yeah, some guys like to get up and shoot first on a clear target, and others like to use others' arrows as a reference.
So in this tournament, is it not required for people to rotate through the
Yeah,
order?
so, yep, so,
Oh,
there's
that
a
he drilled that.
fantastic shot.
He drilled that.
Yeah, so in this tournament, basically, whoever shoots first will shoot last the next target. And you just keep rotating through, so not one person is always jumping up shooting first, or one person's always shooting last.
Woo! That was great.
That was, looked like
That
Miss
was
Sarah
Sarah
Hammond
Hammond's.
is just pinwheeling that dinosaur. Fantastic. She actually, I don't know if you heard, she took 12th in nationals at Vegas.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yep.
In the young adult
Yep.
women. Okay, that's
Yep,
great.
she did absolutely amazing.
Well, that Hammond's family is a shooting family for sure. So
They are,
have
and
three
having-
kids
yep.
that shoot, and then
Yep.
both the parents shoot as
Correct.
well.
Yep. Yeah, and for only shooting not even 2 years, they have done an absolutely amazing job.
Well, those are 4 solid shots, it looks like, 2 of which are in the 11, touching each other, 2 of which look like they're still inside the 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like everybody's at least a 10 or better on that one, so that's a great target.
Now, I know that there's some rivalry often between the Hammond siblings. Is that...
Yes, there is. There's, brother-sister rivalry. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out with the bragging rights today.
Well, we'll go down and check it out and introduce you to this group that's shooting down here. Sarah told us that she was 10 points ahead of her brother yesterday, and that's all she cared about. So that is, sometimes they don't care if they win or lose. It's just like me and my son. All he wants to do is beat me. He doesn't even care where he places as long as it's ahead of me. So
Yeah, bragging rights are always worth it, that's for sure.
Right. And then, Carl, while we're waiting to go down, tell everybody your website and your Facebook page, and then I think that we'll be able to share links with this with you so that your customers can come and see that, and everybody that's checking you out will have a place to see where that link is.
Yeah, so our website is www.endlessarchery.com. And then if you go on Facebook under Endless Archery, you can find our Facebook page there as well. So we try to stay up to date on our media and our website, and so there's lots of information. We have a calendar on our website that you can see any of our tournaments and things that are happening in the shop, as well as we'll do posts on a regular basis with our Facebook page as well and Instagram.
Awesome. So here is their pretty cool logo. What was the inspiration behind this logo?
You know, when we originally sat down, started looking at the idea, we wanted something that was, we came up with the name Endless Archery, but we wanted something that just kind of represented that ever going type deal. So we ended up coming up with the Phoenix idea. So it's a Phoenix never,
All right.
never goes away.
Awesome. All right, so let's check in.
So
And
we're headed down to the Velociraptor to introduce you to this group. All right, guys, you guys all shot excellent on this group, so let's tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
Dean Hill, Boise, Idaho.
Andrew Pontius, Boise, Idaho.
And
Bill Jones, Meridian, Idaho.
Sarah Hammonds, Caldwell, Idaho.
all right, and I know, Sarah, we talked to you yesterday. Your only goal yesterday was to what?
Beat my brother.
And how's that working out today so far?
Pretty good, I think.
All right. Well, that last shot, you know, if it's any indication, then you should come out ahead, but he's not going to give you that, right?
Yeah, probably not.
All right. All right. Thanks, guys. Shoot good like that all day.
Thank you.
that's great. So, Carl, are they flighted on day 2, or do people shoot in the same groups that they shot yesterday?
So we're flighted for the championship divisions with the other divisions, other classes. This tournament we did not flight everybody.
Gotcha.
So we have a lot of people that come in to shoot, and a lot of our tournaments really haven't. You get that group that really cares about wanting to win the buckle, and then you got a bigger group that likes to just come and shoot with their friends.
For sure.
And so we really try to cater to everybody. So we flight the money classes, but then we also let those that just come and shoot in the other divisions just to shoot.
That's great. So that's good to know. So if you are, you know, a shooter that just wants to come and have fun, you're not really concerned about necessarily going for the prize money or the buckle or anything like that. You can still shoot with your friends. If you choose to be in that championship division, the championship division is what's going to end up putting you in where you're shooting with your peers, meaning those that are shooting kind of head to head with you.
Right.
You know, by score, you're going to get flighted. So.
Correct.
All right, let's
Ready
see.
on the right.
We got
Ready on the left.
this beautiful
Let
target.
fly.
Yeah, Wild Creek's done such an amazing job on the realistic look of their targets and the
Absolutely.
quality of them are absolutely amazing.
All right, so let's see if we can see who is shooting here. So it's not the gentleman in the orange, I don't believe. I believe it's the one. Is that just above? Or is that the pin holding the money dot on?
That might be the pin holding the money dot on.
We'll keep a close view on this so we can
I
see.
think this gentleman right here might be going for the wildebeest. Yep.
Okay, so just low there.
So I know the gentleman that's shooting on that target right there. I think him and his son might be the only ones shooting on that target. But I think his son is a cub, so
He wouldn't have shot
he
that
wouldn't have shot at
distance.
that one. Yeah. So we
Gotcha.
might only have that one arrow that ends up in the target.
Okay. So these father-son.
Yep.
Good little bonding time.
Yep. Yeah, we love it when even the single day shooters come out and just enjoy what we've put on, and this makes it fun for everybody.
Absolutely. So again, these beautiful targets. So do these come on their own stands? Are they on rebar posts, or how do these stand up?
So depending on the size of the targets, some of the targets actually come with a metal stand that have a rebar post in them, and then you stake rebar down through the sides of them as well for stability. some of the smaller targets, you just pound a couple stakes of rebar in and are able to slide the slots over the top of that rebar, and you know, they'll stand in that position as well. So.
Gotcha.
But yeah, a lot of these bigger ones, they're fairly heavy targets with that dense foam on them, so they need a little extra stability with the bigger stands.
Absolutely. So it does appear Sundays may be a little bit of a slower day as far
Typically
as...
they are,
yeah.
yeah. We have a tendency to see a little fewer shooters on a Sunday. Still a good turnout. We're real happy to see everybody out here. A lot of people are, you know, family activities, church, that kind of stuff. So we do see a little bit of a drop-off on Sundays.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, I mean, that I do see some new faces that, again,
Yes.
came out
Yep.
just for the one day, which is great. I think you're really providing a good service for individuals who maybe can't do the 2 days, that they still get an opportunity to shoot.
Right.
They don't have to consume their whole weekend necessarily with the shoot, but they can enjoy it one day or the other day. So I think that's a great service to provide to your customers and the shooters in the area.
Yeah. It was fun, even like last night with our smoke around, we had individuals who couldn't make either day for the tournament itself, but they came out and shot the smoke around. So it was fun to have, you know, still have some people out that may not have been able to come and shoot with the tournament.
Absolutely. Yeah, that smoke around was pretty fun. Now, Carl, I don't mean to throw you under the bus, but rumor has it you were out after the first arrow. Is that true?
Yes, I was. Yeah. No, that was. So I guess I need to, you know, try to back myself up a little bit here on this one. I kind of, you know, we ended up getting a new bow and was working on getting it set up, and didn't even have my peep tied in and no mark. So I would shoot a 20-yard shot, see if I was close, and go for it. But yes, I was out of the first round.
All right. Well, we're going to go to Joe, who's going to check in here with these shooters.
All right. So this is a father and son shooting on this target. The dad shot back at the wildebeest, and the boy shot at a bobcat that was right there. He just pulled his arrows and wrote his score down. We'll go up and talk to them and see who they are and where they're from. So there's a wildebeest back at 50-something yards, I think it's what this is, and it's also a money dot. So let's see who's out here shooting. So we'll just catch up with you guys and see your father and son.
Yes, sir.
And what was your name?
Greg.
And?
Gavin.
Gavin. So you're out here shooting the shoot this weekend?
Yep.
Are you having fun?
We are.
Awesome. And then hard shots, easy shots?
A little bit of both.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a good mixture.
I don't know.
You don't
I don't know.
You're just
I'm
shooting?
Yeah, I'm shooting.
Yeah, just whatever
Yeah.
whatever he says, that's your opinion too?
Yep.
All right.
Par for the course.
All right, well, have fun, guys, and shoot good the rest of the day.
Thank you.
So I can imagine here these individuals that are shooting in this youth division, again, they are flighted with their peers, so they are going to be shooting with those that are shooting comparably as far as their scores go. So we are back at target 17. This is a great shot again, where they have to sneak the arrow through the tire in order to hit the kill shot.
Ready on the right. Ready on the left.
All right. So this is the baboon through the tire again. This is Grant is on this target, which is Sarah's sister, that Sarah Hammond. So we'll check out how that rivalry's going. But
This
they're
is
shooting.
Chloe here.
Yep, is Chloe. She shoots out of Endless. That's a good shot.
Holy, she smoked that.
Yep. Then I can't remember this young man's name. He shoots out of Endless as well.
I believe it's Garrett, and you might have to correct me.
I think that is Garrett.
When you go down and interview them, but.
So they shoot part of the New Phoenix shooting team.
Also solid shot. Looks like it might just be out of the 11. And up next, so here's Grant, Mr. Hammonds.
All right. See how he does.
Settling in.
It's not a far shot, it's just intimidating, but he put it right down the middle too. So I'm going to go talk to him real quick. He's shooting freestyle like his sister, so I'm going to talk to him and I'm going to try to show everybody freestyle equipment and kind of go over the rules on that real quick too, or open class, depending on what shoot you show up to.
Depends on the shoot, on how they call that. So open's going to be, you have the opportunity to have moving sights, a longer stabilizer, pretty much any equipment on there you can have.
All
A lens. Right now shooting is Cody, and we're going to turn the time over to Joe.
All right, Grant. I'm stealing you for a second. Yeah. So the only thing that Sarah cared about was that she can beat you. So that's all she cares about today, I think. No, I'm just kidding. But so we just watched you guys shoot that target. So let's talk about your equipment real quick. Let me turn this and get it in frame, and then I want to talk about open class and freestyle divisions so that people that have not shot a lot understand what that is. So step back just a little and I'll get you in frame, and then we'll go over those equipment rules. All right, and then when we're talking about it, let's hold it up a little bit so it's in frame. But all right, so what do you got going on here?
So I have a lens in my scope to where it has magnification to where I can shoot the open class. That's the class to where you can have anything you want on your bow and you can shoot whatever.
So you can use a light, which you've got on there right now.
So you can use a light, you can use a lens, you can, in your peep, you can use a clarifier, and you can use long stabilizers.
Yep. So you got about a 30-inch stabilizer on the front.
Yep.
This stabilizer is made of carbon, and it's got 4 ounces on the front of this. So by the time you get it out there, we've always described it like holding a broom with the bristles pointed away from you.
Yep.
It takes a lot of torque and helps balance the bow and slows the movement down.
Yep.
So the idea is if you're holding 10% better in the dot, then you're going to actually perform better than that because your brain also wants to keep pulling and execute, right?
Yep. So back stabilizer, it mostly helps with the left and right. So if you're wiggling left and right, it helps with that and makes it steady to where you aren't having as much of it.
Yep, and if you notice, most of the, these are called V-bars. Most of the V-bars are on the opposite side of all the equipment that's screwed on there. So it helps offset the weight that's on one side, plus it stops that right and left twist that you get from the bow. So that torque that's caused by the mechanical torque is what we call it, from the roller guards or the cable slide. That's the parts that hold the cables off out of the way of the string so the arrow can pass through. So how are you shooting today?
I'm shooting pretty good. I've dropped 1.8 and not very many 10s and the rest 11s. So.
All right. So do you know if you're up right now or what your plus? You'd have to look at it, but so that's how a lot of people keep track of it, is their misses or their gains. So if he's shot 1.8, that means he's down 2, but every 11 he hit means he's up. So he's down 2 from the 8, but he's up 4.11, so he's at +2 right now is how we would say that. So you're 2 above par, which is good.
Yep.
So it means he's shooting better than just shooting 10s all day. So, all right, we'll go down and see how that ended up on that baboon.
Excellent.
Looks like all of them. I think Jason's out.
Whoa, thank you.
Again, it is
I'm
fun
doing pretty good of keeping people away from it, but me.
fun to see these youth and young adults coming out and shooting.
So I just bumped the camera, so I'm not sure if I pulled it off a frame or not. So
Target 17, please.
Well, but yours said at 0 room.
Yeah. That one had room, but I tried to go like up over top.
So we'll straighten out the camera, and we'll catch them on the next go. You guys are getting ready to shoot the croc?
Target 17.
Yep.
All right.
And thank you.
Come on. You can't see that second level, right?
Is that going to give you enough room?
So it looks like we are set back up on the Crocodile. Got another group coming through to shoot. So we will follow along here. I believe Mr. Ford there just stepped up to the line in the jersey and the elite hat. Will be the first one to shoot.
Ready on the right, ready on the left. Beautiful.
Here we go.
That's where the video games are at.
All right, so again, scoping out where he wants to aim, looking if he can determine a reference as far as the target. That looks like a pretty solid shot.
Maybe just a touch low, but it's hard to tell because that animal slopes back so fast that it's only about a 4-inch 10 ring, but it's laid back on the up to its spine, and it only gives you probably 2.5 or 3 inches to aim at. So again, this is that Nile crocodile. It's a fun target to film because it's hard to tell what where to aim at it, and we want to get as many archers as we can throughout the day. Different archers, shooting and seeing how they're doing, letting them do shout outs. Another good shot, maybe a little bit higher and a little bit left of the first shot. And then we'll see this last archer, how he's doing 2. Now he's got a couple of arrows down there as a reference. So when on the hard targets to aim at, sometimes it's nice because you see that green fletch down there. If I knew that through my binos, if I knew the dot was just to the right of that, I would shoot at that arrow or to the right of it. Or so we'll see if he picked the right spot there. So, you know, you just can't see that ring from our perspective here. Maybe if you're watching on a big screen, you can tell a little bit better. So we'll see how they do when we go down there, see who is shooting and how they're doing today. So one of the things, while we've got just a second while we're waiting, got one more archer there. Lefty. So one of the things I want to talk about real quick while we're waiting to go down range is we want, what our goal is with Archery Northwest is to film the shoots all around the Northwest, you know, more specifically Oregon, Washington, and Idaho, and pick up on all the shoots that are happening around the area. But we want to highlight the pro shops specifically too. As owners of archery shops to begin with, Megan and I really have talked about this a lot on getting more traffic through the shop. So we want that traffic for our own business health, but we want it for the Northwest business health as well. People are more spread out. We want people to be able to support those local shops where they get those specialty items, and not only that, a lot of people like to shoot indoors, you know, during the winter months up in the Northwest. So if you want those shops around, support them for sure. COVID really hurt all the archery shops around the nation, specifically in the Northwest, because some of the states on the West Coast stayed shut down longer, so it taught everybody how to order online.
That's right.
And that cut the traffic down, so that slowly trickled back up, but we certainly want to put our effort into getting people back into the shops and supporting the shops for our own benefit, but then the archery community to begin with. We've had our shop for 25 years, and we want it to stay healthy. We want all those shops to stay healthy, so we appreciate you all supporting that.
Absolutely. I mean, it just is a tough market with the world of instant gratification and people just wanting to receive things immediately. You know, as a pro shop, we can't always keep every single product in stock. And so oftentimes, you know, a smaller pro shop may have to order something, and if you can just have some patience with that and be okay with not getting your product for a couple of days as opposed to having it overnight shipped or whatever the case may be, you know, those pro shops can benefit from even things that they have to order, just like you would order.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of years of experience in the shops too. Usually the help that the shops hire stay around longer. They learn more skills. They learn all the different bow setups and tunes. And so we just want to just say shops local, you know, so we do appreciate you guys understanding that and supporting that. And just like we heard archers talk about, there's people that live in Boise that shop at Dead on Archery. TJ is one of the owners there, and his wife, small mom and pop shop as well, a big 60-yard range inside there. But that couple that was shooting, they live in Boise, but they shop and come over here to Endless as well, and utilize the range that they have here too, and practice on these 3D targets and all the things that Endless has to offer. So it's good to support each other, and a lot of the shops do around the area. So, and in between Endless and TJ's shop at Dead on Archery, you've got Archery Central here in the Valley of Idaho as well. So that's good. Danny's the owner of it, and we've filmed a shoot over there as well. So we like to support all of them. When you're in the Washington area, in the Vancouver area. We have Archery World there too. So we appreciate the support that you guys give us there too, and up in Lacey and Washington, just north of Olympia. We appreciate that support. So without a community like you guys, we all the shops would really struggle to pay the rent on this range, especially like Carl here. He's got a massive 20,000+ feet of range out here that they're shooting on right now. And so without you guys buying memberships to that range and coming in and shooting, it would be hard to pay the rent on something like that. But every shop has its own story similar to that.
Absolutely.
So we're going to catch the next group. I don't know if they have anyone shooting this target behind, or if someone was shooting on this croc again, or if it was a blank target. Looks like Brandon is up there. I can't tell if he's shooting target 16 or if he's on 15. But we can see the skunk and the raccoon down at the 3-yard mark. I think they're going to be shooting that close distance. So Brandon's in a camouflage hat and a gray shirt and the shorts, khaki shorts. So we'll see if he's shooting target 15 or 16 here in a second. So yeah, give us if you're watching or tuned in, hit that thumbs up button and show us that you're there, and or start chatting. Megan's there at the keyboard, so she can answer some questions if you got it, or if you want to shout out to anybody. We do appreciate it. So we had some streaming issues yesterday that we think we got worked out today. Hopefully it's streaming cleaner. It was getting glitchy because the bandwidth was getting smaller, something that was out of our control, but we made some adjustments to our switchboards, and we think we've got that right. And looking back at one of the comments, I couldn't remember the Corsican Ram, and it looks like Tyler got me straightened out on that. I just like, let's call it a Ram for now, because I couldn't remember which one it was. But Tyler, I appreciate you get me lined up on that and set me straight. I can't even remember the official names of some of these African animals that come over from Africa that are hand painted. Obviously the Nile crocodile, but there's some exotics that.
Not the Nile crocodile.
It is. It eats people and animals.
No, thank you.
So, if you want to see some, you know what? We've not got Hogzilla. He's on the left side of the screen right now. Just looks like Brandon's getting a close-up of him, but he's just looking at his target. So we're going to switch over and see. There's a carp over there. There's Hogzilla. We've not got, there's a turkey I see. We got a boar over there as well. So we'll shift the target or the camera over there in just a minute. There's a lot of wires that we've got to move, so we'll try to get those straightened out and then start filming some of that stuff over there. There's a group of archers in the middle we've not got a lot of FaceTime with. We might shift over there first and see them shoot. We want to try to get everybody.
As many people represented as we can, and again, if you're watching from home and you know someone's here that you want to see, go ahead and give us a little chat here, and we'll try to locate them and have some words. In a positive way, not in a fighting way. Oh.
So I think they've got the same schedule as they did yesterday. So they'll shoot half the targets at the 15 arrow mark for today on scoring. They'll take about a 30-minute lunch break, and then they'll come back and finish the second half. So at that lunch break, we'll cut off our stream, and then we'll come back after lunch as well and finish up the day, and then catch the awards this afternoon. So they've got buckles from Molly's Buckle, the same company that we use when we're doing an Archery World Classic. So those should be good looking. I've not got a chance to see them yet, but I'll try to sneak one and take a look and see what the winner's going to win.
Cool. So looks like we just again have a few more archers finishing up on the line. Then they will go down and score. Another fine-tuning of the sight. Adjusting, you know, oftentimes people, as soon as they're done shooting the current target that they're on, they may look over at the next target that they're going to shoot. And even if they don't dial it into the specific yardage, they may at least get it close, just so they are not likely to over aim or miss at their sights. So as they go down and pull their arrows, looks like Joe has located the buckles here, and so we've got Molly's buckle, and see if I can open it up and get a good view of that. So Endless Archery. Okay. So beautiful buckles from Molly's. So here we got a good view of the entire range. Again, so much work goes into setting up a shoot like this and making it happen and running smoothly. So, you know, keep in mind when you guys are watching this, if you shot the shoot or, you know, shoot a shoot in the future, just remember to, you know, thank those that are putting it on. It's not just the time that it takes when you're actually shooting, but it's hours beforehand and hours afterhand. I'm not sure is a real saying, but afterwards to make the shoot run well. So, and of course, coming out and shooting the shoot and supporting it, that is what drives any archery shop to want to host another shoot. So we got a chat. Boomtown Outdoor says, I love that you snuck in a couple of 2 to 3 yarders. They are very easy if you have practiced them and have numbers to shoot them, but they are very difficult if you are not prepared for them, and that is absolutely the case. So thanks for that comment there. 2 to 3 yards, you would think, oh, I don't really need to move my sights. I mean, it's right there. But for, you know, a lot of people, if you're shooting above 50 pounds, that 2 to 3 yarder might be like your, you know, you might have to move your sight to where you would shoot at 50 yards, which seems counterintuitive, but that is the way it goes. So yeah, definitely don't think that you can just walk up and guess where you need to aim for those 2 to 3 yarders, because you will likely miss the dot, and that is so frustrating when you miss a dot at 2 to 3 yards. Those should be the give-me's, but really they can be one of the hardest shots on the course. So all right, so we've got this cool looking target here.
Yeah, it's a bison at max distance, so he's at like 50 yards, like 50.3 yards. It's a money dot.
Okay.
So
this is the gentleman just behind the plaid shirt. He's at full draw right now.
Yep.
A lefty.
So we'll catch them shooting target 10, and then after that, we'll catch them shooting target 11, since we got the camera position to get both of those. Target 11's a bear with a salmon in his mouth. That's a fun target, too.
Cool looking.
Oh, yeah, it's a solid 10.
Solid 10 at
Yep.
9 o'clock.
Yep.
So-
If that was over an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches, he would end up hitting that money dot. But he's not going to complain about shooting a 10 on that target.
All right, next up. Gentleman shooting the Matthews. It's like TRX maybe.
Oh, right on top of that. So it must be a shadow or something, because I think both of them were shooting freestyle, but it could just be they pushed it a little bit when they're shooting, but a lot of times it's a shadow or a light that looks different under the peep and the scope that they're shooting.
Okay, we've got Colby here.
Yeah. Colby shoots at Nampa Bow Chiefs, and he grew up he was talking to us earlier, a couple of months ago, because we shoot at the same range at Nampa Bow Chiefs, which is the club here in Nampa. He grew up around Twin Falls, so he's known the guys over in Advantage Archery for a long time over there. So we'll get over at some point and we'll talk to the guys over there at Advantage, and then
All right, so full
Hopefully
draw on the bison. Let's see what happens.
another solid 10. Looks like it's about an inch and a half high.
12 o'clock.
At 12 o'clock, 12:30. So we'll catch them shooting the next target too, like I was saying. The next one is a black bear, but it's got a salmon in its mouth. So it's closer, about half the distance. So it's only about 25 yards. But it could be as hard of a target to shoot at until there's an arrow in there as a reference. Because it's a
so
solid
dark.
black target. Yeah, it's a dark target. So this is why they rotate who shoots first, because some people shoot bright fletches so they can see their own arrow. Some people shoot dark fletches so no one can see it, because if it's a one arrow shoot, once it's shot, it's shot. You can't really use it as an aiming reference, but like you'll see on this black bear when we film this next one, that first arrow in the target will be an aiming reference for the other guys, so they'll be able to aim off of that either right, left, or if they hit the spot, they're going to aim straight at that arrow. So looking at our cash rate, looks like everything's streaming well today compared to yesterday. So we feel pretty confident that we've worked out all the bugs on that. We appreciate if you watched both days that you were patient with us as we work through all those glitches. So it's not something that we want to happen, but sometimes it's out of our control. But we think we got it figured out. And Megan, while I was adjusting the cameras, did you have a chance to show them those Molly buckle?
I did.
Yeah,
I sure did.
So this is they're going to be cash prizes, but they're going to do buckles as well. So it's going to be engraved on the back. So this is just an example of the buckle that they're going to get, because they're going to have them custom made and engraved on with the person that won its name. So they'll order that. They'll order that buckle for the winners.
That's great.
So sometimes when we've done it, like at an Archery World Classic, we don't engrave the winners' names on there, but it'll say champion, so we can have them pre-made. But if a club or a shop wants to engrave the names up there on the back, they'll have Molly's do it which is down located in Texas, as we as they know who the winners are for the weekend. All right, let me reposition the camera to catch the bear with the salmon. There's hot food out there.
All right, so it looks like we did get some feedback. Thank you so much, Brian and Taryn. It does seem as though the feed is going better today, which we are grateful for. And again, we're grateful for the patience that you guys had, and your willingness to kind of power through those streaming issues yesterday. So thank you for that feedback, and we'll continue to work through and improve each time we do these shoots. So thanks, Brian and Taryn, for your positive comments and letting us know that things are going better today for sure.
We shoot them, this will be the last target before we break
the
for lunch.
The bear with the salmon. Does sound like this is the last target before lunch.
Yep. And after that, after lunch, I think we'll leave the camera where it is, except for we'll shift it one more time. There's the crocodile. There's the alligator that's out there next to it. That's going to be target 12.
Alligator.
Yeah. And maybe if I'm lucky, I can get both in the background and give you a perspective on the different sizes of those two 3D targets, because the Reinhardt alligator is not a small target to begin with, but that croc is massive. This is the same group of guys that are shooting.
This one.
Oh, yeah. So he smoked that. So you're going to watch everybody aim at his arrow now. So first shooter shot, looks like he caught an 11 at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock? Is that on the line or is that solid?
It looks like it's on the line. It's so close, I can't tell from the monitor size that we are looking at.
Yeah.
But if you're on a big screen TV, you might be able to tell a little bit easier. We'll tell you if anybody's still watching and they are watching on a big screen, you make the call. So tell us what you think that shot is, and we'll go down and we'll ask them what it was for that orange arrow that's first, and
see if you were right.
Yep. So if that's just at 3 o'clock, he's going to aim, trying to hit the left fletch on that arrow. And he aimed just to the left, so that looks like it's solid in the 11 right there too. So.
Yep. Maybe a shaft inside at 10 o'clock.
Thanks,
Brian. 3
All right, Brian.
o'clock, dead center on the line. That's what we were we were thinking. So yeah, we'll verify that when we go downrange and
just make it a fun game for everybody watching too. So if you're watching on a big screen, it'll be a lot easier to tell than we've got a little 11-inch screen, you know, so it's a little harder to tell.
You make the call. Oh man.
And after we, oh yeah, so he put it right between them. So that's a perfect reference shot. So you just aim right between them and then get that shot off. So as soon as we verify those shots, we'll call Brian the winner on that, making the call
Yeah.
most likely, and then we'll break for lunch. We'll cut this stream off and come back and go from there. I'll see if I can get a start time. So it's 11 a.m. They're going to start sooner than they did yesterday, so they're running, it looks like a solid 30 minutes ahead. I think yesterday they came back at noon.
We may be coming back around 11:30.
Yeah, 11:30, 11:40 most likely, but we'll put a time start on there to go live for the second half. Second half, we'll catch the awards as well.
And we may take a brief intermission after the scoring, just to allow them to tally scores, and then we'll come back live again for the results. So, good shooting on target 11. Looks like 3 solid arrows in the middle there. Could be 4 actually.
Okay. So 12 again, Megan.
And we are going to come back live at 12 o'clock. We just got confirmation from Carl, so they'll do a quick lunch break, let people kind of refuel and get ready for the second half of their shooting. And we will come back at that point. What we're going to try to see is we're going to, again, just confirm those 3 arrows downrange, see if somebody truly did hit. Brian called that arrow correctly as a 3 o'clock dead center on the line. So that's good shooting by that group. It looks like they may be watching the live feed there as they were waiting to go down range. I caught them just after. So Joe's heading down range
All right.
with them, and we'll see what those scores are.
So I'll catch up with these guys real quick before he pulls that arrow and see what we got. All right. Don't pull them yet. We got a bet online.
Wow.
So somebody online, we said you make the call. So the orange arrow was the first arrow out. We wanted to know if that was an 11 or a 10.
That is an 11.
All right, it's 11 at 3 o'clock. So does everybody shoot 11s there?
Yep.
All right, awesome. So yeah, the first one we couldn't tell where it was because it wasn't any references behind it, but somebody could tell because we're watching on a big screen at home. So so we got a winner. We're playing a little online game. So. All right, good shooting, guys.
Good call, Brian. And yeah, so 3 11s for those gentlemen on the bear with the salmon. And that's going to do it for our live coverage of the morning. We will take a small little break here, and then we will tune in and start another live feed here from Endless Archery at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you back at 12 p.m. Again, we are Archery Northwest, and we are live at Endless Archery.
Let's charge everything.